Welcome to the class, children, to the academic year 2020-21. Hope you all are fine and taking all the precautionary measures to protect yourself. Stay home and stay safe, children. Let us start our class now. So I am going to take up your biology classes. So the first topic what we are going to discuss now is what is science. I hope you went through the two videos what I have already posted to you in the group and learned about different branches of the science. So as we go into the lesson, you will get all that what you learned, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay. So did you get an idea what is meant by science? So science is a process of thinking. Science is an organized study of knowledge which is based on experimentation. Science is a tool for searching truths of nature. Science is a way of exploring the world. So we are going to explore many things as we go further into the lesson. So before that, I want to share few images to you all, so that it will be easy for you to understand and learn it. So let us start our class now. Okay. So meanwhile, suppose when you come across something in your daily life, okay, sometimes you may get doubt why this is happening, what is the reason behind it, or when it might have started. All these kind of questions may arise in your mind sometimes when you come across few things in your life. Like suppose the main important questioning tags includes when, why and how. What are the three words? When, why and how. These three things, these three words, I can say very important magical words to get knowledge, will help us to know many things about the nature, different things what we are coming across in our life. Okay, that itself is enough to increase our knowledge, to improve our knowledge. Okay, so what is the primary or the fundamental step in scientific thinking? It is nothing but questioning. Okay, children, so questioning is the primary or fundamental step in scientific thinking. So let us now just see what is the definition of the science. A way of learning about the natural world uses observation and even logical reasoning. Is the definition clear, children? It is a way of learning about natural world by using observation and logical reasoning. And scientific inquiry, the scientific method of knowing many things, it includes investigating the problem and answering the questions. I hope you all got what is the meaning of the word science. Okay, so there are many branches of science, but before going into different branches of science, it is very important to know what are the two methods of science, or what are the two types of science. The two types of science are experimental science and observational science. So let us discuss them also in detail. Okay, now you see this. What is science? How would you define science? So science is nothing but knowledge. So what is the meaning of the word science? Knowledge. Knowledge what we get through study or practice. So the knowledge what we get because of our study or practice is known as science. It is a system of getting knowledge, acquiring knowledge. This system uses observation and experimentation. I said just now the two types of science are observational science and experimental science. So this system what is used to acquire or to know about many things present in our life includes two things, that is observation and experimentation, which is very important to describe and explain the natural phenomena. The term science also refers to the organized body of knowledge. So people have gained using that system of organized body of knowledge by observing and experimenting many things. So what are the two types of science? Observational science and experimental science. And what is the fundamental and primary step in scientific thinking? It is nothing but questioning. See now. So in this topic, we are going to explore how the scientists are going to work or will work and think. So the way how the scientists work and the way how they think is entirely different when compared to us. They are enthusiastic. They are very keen observers. Until they get the reason or answer to their questions, they will never stop working. They are very hardworking, lot of patience. These are the few characters of the scientists or the people whom we call the scientists. Okay, so to get better idea what is meant by science, this block diagram will help you to understand it in detail. Let us see that. See now the questions, the answers to the question, what is science? It is a discovery. It is everything. It is investigating and testing. Science changes the world. Science is a method of finding out and questioning. It is a method of questioning the world around us. It includes inventions. It helps in finding the logic in everything. It helps in exploring, experimenting and inquiring. It helps us to making a guess. It is called hypothesis. What we guess, no proof to that, but we can prove it by experimenting, checking to see it if we are correct or not. So see how science is helping us, how science is helping us to deal our life, how science is helping us to improve our knowledge, how science is helping us to study in detail, how science is helping us to explore our life, explore the nature. Okay children, did you understand this block diagram? So now, as I already said you, science is of two types, observational science and experimental science. First let us know what is experimental science. Okay, so now the steps which are required or to be followed to study or to get knowledge includes questioning, hypothesis, experimentation, observation, analysis and conclusion. Okay, questioning. Suppose you have selected a topic to find out, or if not, I might have given a project work to you, or if not, some other subject teacher might have given some project work to you. Instead of blindly sitting in front of Google or internet and getting answers or getting the matter to copy it, first analyze the topic given by the teacher. Try to understand the topic and jot down all the questions for which you don't know answers, or if not you are doubtful. That is questioning. After writing out or jotting down all the questions, you have to try to answer them. Sometimes you may not know the proper answer, but you can guess. So the answer what you can guess can be considered as hypothesis. So you have questions, your doubts, no doubt, and even your possible answers, nothing but hypothesis. Now you have to start experimenting. Okay, you will start your experiment. So as you go into the process of experimenting, it is very important to note down or make a proper steps to be followed while experimenting. First, what need to be done? What is the second step? What is the third step? What is the fourth step? So stepwise you have to note down everything. While doing the experiment, at each and every step of your experiment, observation plays a vital role. Okay, a scientist is a very keen observer. You have to observe everything what is going on in each and every step of your project work and note down. Noting down each and every observation is very important. And then after completing your experiment, you have your questions with you, you have your hypothesis with you, now your observations with you. So you have to check the question and the answer what you already wrote. Is it correct or not? If correct, well and good, very good, you could do it. If it is wrong, why your answer is wrong? Once again you have to start your experiment if required to prove that your answering is maybe correct, or if not, you yourself you have to understand that your guessed answer is wrong and your observation proved it. Okay, so after completing all this, you have to analysis, studying in detail. Okay, so now your knowledge improved and you are able to prove what is it. You are now no more hypothesis, you are like properly analyzed with the answers, and finally you are going to give your conclusion. So experimental science includes all this. Okay, not just by looking at something and saying that, suppose if I give you some picture of a dog or a cat or something, like its color, it has 4 legs, it has 1 tail, so and so, etc., color of the eyes and all. It's not like that. It is just an observational science. But an experimental science includes proper method of inquiry, proper method of study. Okay, a systematic method of study, what we can say in a proper way, a systematic method of study. Understood? So whenever you are asked to do some experiments, you have to follow all these steps. Okay children, now you see what is meant by experimental science. So inquiry in seeking facts and the search for truths through testing of theories and facts. Okay, not just by seeing. Whatever you see, if you explain, it comes under observational science, but you are trying to find out the truth, and that too by proper testing the theories and the facts what you already kept in the list of questioning and hypothesis. Okay, so now in the previous videos what I already posted to you, you got many branches of science. Okay, so suppose like ecologist, zoologist, okay, anatomy, physicist, biologist, botanist, etc. So among the list of the branches of science what you have, I think you can just tell me a few, or at least you can write on a paper or in your book and post it to me. How many branches of the science what you already noted in your book comes under experimental science? I hope you got an idea what is meant by experimental science and observational science. Observational science is nothing but just by looking at them, we'll describe them. No much work is required there. No much experiments are required there. Just we'll observe and write its color, its size, its weight, or maybe other characters of its external features. But experimental science includes many things. So here in the image what I shared with you, there is one example there. You see that psychology. So psychology is a branch of science in which we can study the mental and physical status of an organism or of an human being. So do you think it comes under experimental science? Of course, no doubt. Without studying the person, without knowing about him, without going into his past and into his life, is it possible to come to a conclusion? Not at all. So psychology is a branch of science which we can call as experimental science. So did you understand children what is meant by experimental science? Okay. So now let us see what are the different steps of scientific method. So what is the first thing in the scientific method? So what is that example given there in the image? I'll tell you. You have some seeds with you, okay, and you have some 2 to 3 pots with you, and it is filled with different types of soil. Okay, already you studied about different types of soil in your science 7th standard. You can take your own options, maybe clay soil or loamy soil or sandy soil, whatever it is, it's your wish. So what is the first thing, first step in the scientific method? Maybe observation. So what all we can note down in the observation, like how many pots we have taken, what kind of seeds we have selected. One important thing here in this activity, children, seeds what we are going to sow in all the 3 pots should be same. Okay, so what are the seeds we have selected, what type of soil we have selected, what are the climatic conditions in which we are trying to grow them, all these will come under observation. Now the question, or if not the project work given to you is, which type of fertilizer works the best? Okay, so now like suppose you have taken same kind of soil in all the 3 pots instead of different soils. Okay, so type of soil is same, type of seeds are same, but the fertilizer what you are using in the 3 pots is different. So the question in front of you is, which type of fertilizer works the best? So what is the next step involved in the activity in the scientific method? Hypothesis. What is meant by hypothesis? A possible answer which we guess. It is not proven, just we are expecting it. So such kind of possible answer is called hypothesis. So maybe you might have come to a conclusion that, or your hypothesis is that some NPK fertilizer, or if not, let us take urea. Urea is best for cultivation of the bean seeds, or if not whatever seeds you have taken. Now you started your experiment. You took 3 pots, named them as ABC. Same type of soil is kept in all the 3 pots, but the fertilizer what you used in the 3 pots is different. Okay, I'll tell you 3 names of fertilizers. Suppose A, urea, B, ammonium phosphate, okay, C, superphosphate. So 3 fertilizers names I said you. So now you have taken 3 pots filled with soil, and good variety of seeds also you have kept in all the 3 pots, but the main thing what you need to make a note in all the 3 pots is that the fertilizer what you used is different. So in pot A you added urea, pot B you added ammonium phosphate, and pot C you added superphosphate. Okay, the seeds started germinating, they started growing. Okay, which pot the plant is growing well? You can see the picture and guess it, no doubt, pot A. So what is the best fertilizer for the growth of that particular plant what you selected, or the seed what you selected? What is proven there? It is urea. So just let us come back to the hypothesis part. So before starting your activity, if your hypothesis is urea is best for cultivating the particular crop, your hypothesis after doing the experiment is correct. Suppose you might have expected that superphosphate is best for cultivating the so and so seeds what you selected. Now after completing the experiment, it is proved that your hypothesis is wrong. Then what you are going to do? Which answer you are going to consider? Your hypothesis or the answer what you got after completing the experiment? No doubt the answer what we got after completing the experiment. So what will be your conclusion now? If your hypothesis is correct, you are going to say that the hypothesis is proven correct. If your hypothesis is wrong, you will say that the hypothesis is proven wrong. After my experiment, I would like to conclude that urea is best for cultivating the seeds what I have selected. Okay, so this is the way or the steps to be followed when we go for scientific method. So let us see the steps once again. Observation, questioning, hypothesis, experimenting, and conclusion. So did you understand what are the steps involved in the scientific method? Okay, so this comes under experimental science. Okay, see here now. The same thing what we did now in the form of a simple block diagram. So what is the first thing we need to do? Questioning, asking a question. So we have to do background research. Background research means writing all the questions in a line and writing all the answers what you are expecting, or if not what you already know. You might have studied somewhere, you know the answer, so you are writing all the answers there. So that is background research. Or if not, what material you need to collect, how to do the experiment, what are the steps to be followed, all these will also come under background research. So now you are trying to construct hypothesis. I already said now, hypothesis means possible answer. All the possible answers, it may be correct or may not be correct. According to your knowledge, you are going to answer all the questions what you have just wrote. Next we are going to start the experiment. Okay, to start the experiment, it is very important to work upon the steps to be followed while doing the experiment. That comes under procedure working. Okay, now you see two questions are there, no, yes. After completing the experiment, okay, completely by following the procedure what you have worked out, your hypothesis may be correct or may not be correct. So your hypothesis is wrong, so no. Your hypothesis correct, yes. So then you have to analyze the data and draw conclusions. Drawing conclusion means noting down the conclusions. You have to check each question what you wrote, each answer what you wrote with your observations, whether they are correct or wrong, no or yes. Finally, you have to align the result. Align the result in the sense you have to give the result. So your results again partially or not at all with hypothesis. Your result may match with the hypothesis or may not match with the hypothesis. So you have to note down everything, children. Then if the hypothesis is wrong, once again you are going to come back to the questioning part and hypothesis. Wherever it is proven that your hypothesis is wrong, you are going to correct it. Okay, so did you understand how to do an experiment or how to continue, or what are the steps to be followed in the experimental science? Okay, so here are some examples. Like observation, the grass on the school's front lawn is wet. So the grass which is present in the lawn in front of your school is wet. So possible inferences, that is our hypothesis. It might be rained, the sprinkler was on, there is dew on the grass from the morning. Do you know what is meant by dew? Like mist or fog. Okay, the dog urinated on the grass. It also might be one of the reason, right? So these are the answers what you are guessing. It's your hypothesis. All may not be correct, isn't it? One will be definitely correct. So now all these possible answers or possible inferences come under hypothesis. So all of these inferences could possibly explain why the grass is wet. So inferences are based on prior experiences. Inferences is nothing but hypothesis what you wrote there. It is based on your prior experiences. You might have seen or observed that sometimes as the dog urinated there it might be wet, or because of rain also the grass will be wet, and so and so. So we have all seen rain, we have all seen sprinklers, we have seen morning dew and dogs going to the bathroom there or urinating there. But how we look at what is the possible answer or correct answer, sorry, not possible answer, how are you going to get the correct answer for this? You have to collect the data, you have to collect information, you have to find out whether it rained or not last night. Okay, or if not, you can ask your school gardener whether the sprinkler is on so that the grass is wet. Okay, if these two are not correct answers, then you may guess that because of dew. If it is because of dew, you can just find out whether the answer is correct or not. If at all it is because of dew, not only grass in the lawn will be wet, all the other areas of garden of your school will be wet. If other areas of the school or your school garden are dry, and only if the lawn is wet, then you can go for the fourth one. That is because of a dog urinated on the grass. Okay, so to get a possible answer or a proper answer for a question requires inquiry. You have to get into that, find out and note down and study and come to a conclusion. Okay, so make observations, research the topic to find out what is already known, ask a testable question, turn the question into a hypothesis, make predictions. Do you know what is under predicting? Expecting. Okay, it may or may not be correct, but expecting. Suppose like a climatologist or IMD department, they will predict that it may rain. It may or may not. So that is predictions. Then conducting experiment to test the predictions. Analyze the result to arrive at a conclusion. Okay, this is a total systematic way of coming to a final conclusion and the steps to be followed while doing the experiments. So now coming to the next science, that is observational science. So observational science includes gathering through your sense organs. Do you know we have 5 sense organs? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. So by using these sense organs, we are going to experience. Suppose you might have seen something in front of you. Okay, so that will help you to observe it. Suppose like as I said, you need to study about something. You observe it with your eyes and study it. So your sense organ is helping you. So if at all I ask you what is the climatic condition, now you are experiencing through your skin. If suddenly it starts rain, you can just experience the cool breeze. So that is a kind of observational science. You can make a note of the changes in the climatic conditions and make a note of something. Suppose if I ask you to describe the tree which is present right in front of you, you will observe and write that the leaves are green in color, it is giving flowers which are in pink in color, so and so. It's a big tree, or if not it is a shrub, it has so many branches. All this comes under observation. So a scientist notices something in their natural world just by observing. Okay, so can you give an example of an observation? Yes, can you give an example of observation? Okay, so already one example I gave you, that is about a tree. Okay, so now tomorrow I am going to explain you about why science is very important. Okay, so before going into that, here are few definitions of the branches of science. Let us see them. So already I just posted a video for you. I am reminding you once again to understand about different branches of science. So few things I'll explain it for you now so that it will be easy for you to understand. Listen. What is ecology? Ecology, eco, environment, it is nothing but a study of how the distributions and abundance of populations are determined by the interactions of individual organisms with their physical biological environment. I'll make it very clear to you in a simple way. Ecology is nothing but a relationship between living organisms and the environment. Okay, do you all accept, children, that the living organisms and its environment are interlinked with each other, interdepending on each other? Yes. So that branch of science in which we study about the relationship between living organisms and environment is known as ecology. Okay, so next, the scientists who study about the relationship between living organism and the natural world is known as ecologist. Okay, now you see organisms and their environment. I said no, the relationship between organisms and environment, that is called as ecology. Okay, so now geology. So geology is an earth science comprising the study of solid earth, the rocks of which it is composed and the process by which they change. So studying about the earth completely, about soil structure, nutrients present in the soil, resources, about the rocks, everything about the earth comes under geology. It includes even the study of fossils. Okay, now, so what is the meaning of the term astrophysics? Okay, if you just read your lesson first 2 pages, you will get this word astrophysics. Okay, so now you see what are there here. What can you observe on the screen here? Stars, okay, galaxies, a bright night sky. So the science which deals with all these galaxies, stars, moons, universe is called as astrophysics, and a person who studies about astrophysics is called as astrophysicist. Okay, so now we'll see that later. So did you understand this few branches what we discussed? Okay, so I'll post homework in your group, see that and try to do that homework, and please post homework to my personal number. Thank you children. We'll meet in the next class. So what is the topic we are going to discuss in the next class? It is nothing but why science. Is the question clear? Why science? Why science is required? Okay, so if you are really enthusiastic, start reading textbook, or if not, start trying to answer the question. Try yourself to answer the question. So try to convert yourself, to make changes in yourself. You are a science student now. Okay, so you should have a scientific method of inquiry in yourself. Start it. So it will help you to improve your knowledge. So why science? Why do we require science? Make your hypothesis. Take your pen, your book, write the question why science, and try to think and write something related to the topic yourself. Why do we require science? Okay children, thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class.